walking through the gatehouse of Battle Abbey, Battle in West Sussex, East Sussex, sorry, get the county right. Built under the orders of William, Duke of Normandy, King of England. This is the gatehouse, and it's on the battlefield site. In 1066, the Normans landed what is now called Norman's Bay. Under the flags of William, Duke of Normandy, and the Roman Pontiff, a crusade was mounted because of the oath-breaker Harold Godwinson breaking his treaty, which he swore on sacred objects before William, Duke of Normandy, that he would support William in his claim to the crown. He went back on his promise and stole the crown himself of England. William raised an army, and in 1066 they met on this field, approximately 8 miles from Hastings. The first assaults by William, Duke of Normandy, against the shield wall of the Anglo-Saxons were ferocious but futile. Remember, the Normans were attacking uphill. As the fighting went on, a band of knights from Brittany on one of the flanks were driven back, and rumours circulated that William himself had fallen, and the entire Norman army began to retreat in disarray. William raised his visor on his helmet and charged along the ranks, saying, I'm alive, I'm alive," and regrouped his army. But a breach took place in the Saxon shield wall as they pursued the retreating Norman knights. This gave William an idea, and from then he had an idea to break what had been all the morning an impenetrable shield wall. The Saxons themselves, by their ill discipline, had given William his key to breaking what had for centuries been the unbreakable, the Saxon shield wall. When William rallied his soldiers, I think it was the east flank, so the western flank of the English army had pursued the Normans down the hill in disarray. However, when William rallied his soldiers, he led the counterattack with his cavalry and the foot soldiers. They isolated the disbanded Saxons who had attacked and chased them down the hill, and with sword in hand, William led his forces into that band of soldiers and annihilated them. Harold, who was actually fighting on foot and given the orders for the English defence on foot, could not reach his western flank in time to order them to stand and watch powerlessly as they were slaughtered. However, the counter-attack only brought an end to the first phase of the battle. The Norman shield wall, the English shield wall, stood firm. Here's an excellent view of the field of Hastings, place where the battle took place. In 1066, with thousands of soldiers on either side, locked in stalemate. The afternoon brought a new offensive, new tactics from William, Duke of Normandy, against Harold Godwinson's army. It was sneaky. It was intended to deceive, but it was the Saxons themselves that gave William the idea. When his assault by the Brittany troops failed and they retreated in disarray, the Saxon wall broke as a band of soldiers pursued the retreating Normans, which they had moments earlier routed, leading to their own destruction. With that in mind, William decided to do it under controlled circumstances, to trick the Saxon army into thinking that they were retreating again. And it worked. Not once, I understand, but twice. He tested it, and then he tried it for real. And the shield wall broke as the Saxons broke away from their commander and charged down what they thought were the retreating Norman army, only to once again be slaughtered. Thus the shield wall was broken, the shield wall was weakened, and Harold Godwinson had to compensate by weakening the wall. Thus the English were even more exposed to the infantry, and most importantly the longbows of the Norman archers. Of course, it wasn't the same archers as fought at Agincourt. The bows were not as strong. They were to be developed later. But however, when fighting uphill against a weakened shield wall, as we can see from here, they proved immensely effective. This time the shield wall wavered. Harold Godwinson, according to tradition, took an arrow in his eye. It is said, but there is no evidence for this. However, in the Bear Tapestry there is a character with an arrow in his eye, and above him embroidered the words "Mort," dead. And that's how the legend of Harold and his eye was born. In the evening, Harold's mistress searched through the bodies and identified the body of Harold, the usurper, King of England, and it was by marks known only to her on his body, birthmarks, etc., that he was identified. The Normans won Hastings and changed the face of Britain forever. England, though besieged by many nations, would never be invaded again. It's now 2009. My name is Philip Mark Trivett.
Got one snip there.
If I'd been known by my Norman name and been Philip Mark or Philippe Mark de Trevit, my ancestors fought on the Battlefield of Hastings, and my family has a heritage which includes archbishops, aides to many of the kings of England, churchmen, chancellors of the exchequer, and many others. Sometimes you can even see relatives like Lady Elizabeth Trivett in places such as Canterbury, and you'll find this on record in English documents. Of 7 families in the United Kingdom that can trace their direct lines back to 1066, this battle, the Trivets, and the various forms of the spelling of the name, are one of 7 families. So I've got a personal interest, and please do come and visit Hastings and Battle. Go to Bayeux and Caen in Normandy for many of our families have a history that were decided by the events of the year 1066. And our nation, Britain, as I said, England, Scotland, Ireland and Wales, has not been invaded by a conquering army for over 1,000 years. I like to think that the family de Trevit played a part in that. Yes, indeed. Battle Abbey. Henry VIII disbanded the monasteries and broke away from the Church of Rome. Many of the abbeys got destroyed. This is what remains of Henry VIII's work. Much as I might agree with his decision to break away from the Church of Rome, even though I'm sure his motives were much different from what I would agree with. It's a pity he had to break down these magnificent buildings that could have served, and indeed did serve, the local communities greatly. Now, was it 500 years on, 500 years on, we're still coming back to visit the ruins which he would have so wanted to have blighted from the face of the earth. You won't be able to see this, but this says the traditional site of the High Altar of Battle Abbey, founded to commemorate the victory of Duke William on the 14th of October 1066. The High Altar was placed to mark the spot where King Harold died, where they obviously found his body. This is it. This is the spot where legend says Harold received an arrow in his eye. And we go. The hill where the English shield wall almost indeed kept England Anglo-Saxon.